Hey, welcome to our explainer. Today we've got a really fascinating story for you. It's about how a single mobile app in Kenya is trying to tackle a massive, multi-billion-dollar problem. We're talking about turning regular folks into investors, and in the process, maybe even reshaping the entire country's economy. It's a big one.
But first, let me just ask you this. Think about it for a second. What if you could own a piece of your country? I mean, a real slice of the biggest companies, the national airline, the power company, maybe the phone network. What if you personally could invest directly in where your country is headed?
And get this, what if you could do all of that right from the phone that's in your pocket? Well, for millions of people in Kenya, this isn't some far-off idea. It is happening right now, and honestly, it could change absolutely everything.
Okay, so to really get why this is such a big deal, we got to take a step back and look at the massive challenge Kenya's facing. We're talking about a huge funding gap. The country needs billions, that's billions with a B, to build things like roads and power plants, and maybe even more importantly, to get out from under a mountain of foreign debt.
I mean, the pressure is really on from all sides. They need this capital for those huge infrastructure projects we talked about, roads, energy, the basics. They've got to manage the national budget. And this is the kicker. They have to find a way to stop relying so much on expensive foreign loans. So the government is making a huge bet. They're betting that the answer isn't somewhere out there, but it's right at home with its own citizens. The plan? Unlock all those small savings to fire up the whole economy.
So how on earth do you solve a problem that big? Well, you don't go for the boring old-school solution. Nope, you do something kind of radical, something revolutionary. You literally put the entire stock market right into the pockets of millions of your citizens.
And this right here is the tool that makes it all happen. It's called ZD Trader, and it runs on M-Pesa. Now, if you don't know, M-Pesa is Kenya's legendary mobile money system. I mean, everyone uses it. So by plugging a stock trading platform right into an app that's already on everyone's phone, bam! They've just handed millions of regular Kenyans a key to the Nairobi Securities Exchange. No need for a fancy broker, no walking into a bank, just their phone.
And the best part is how unbelievably simple they've made it. All those old barriers to investing, gone. It's literally 4 easy steps inside an app people are already using constantly. You just open M-Pesa, tap on the ZD Trader service, do a quick digital sign-up, and you're in. You can start trading. This is what it looks like when you talk about financial inclusion on a massive national scale.
And look, this isn't just some nice idea on paper. This technology has already unleashed a massive wave of brand new investors, and it's completely changing the game.
Just look at that number. Over 1.5 million new people in the stock market. That's not just a small change. That's a seismic shift. It's an absolute explosion of everyday people investing, and it's all because they can now do it from their phones.
And we can see who these new investors are, which is maybe the coolest part. The stock market used to be this exclusive club for the wealthy, for people in the big cities, but now we're talking about mechanics, farmers, small shop owners, people from all over, cities and rural villages. So this isn't just about the numbers going up, it's about changing who actually owns a piece of the economy. It's a total demographic shift.
Okay, so this is super important to understand. None of this is happening by accident. This whole mobile revolution isn't just a coincidence. It's a central piece of a very deliberate, very big plan cooked up by the Kenyan government. The whole strategy really comes down to a few key ideas. First, open the doors to the financial markets for everyone. Democratize it. Second, take all those small savings from millions of people and pool them together to pay for those big national projects. And how do you do that? Well, the plan is to sell shares in huge state-owned companies directly to the people using these apps. And as a bonus, that makes the whole stock market more active and easier to trade in, what the experts call increasing liquidity. And you can actually see this strategy playing out over time. It really kicked off back in 2022 with a big policy change. Then in 2023, the app launched. And now they're gearing up for the big stuff, major IPOs. When a company goes public for the first time, they're starting with the Kenya Pipeline Company. So yeah, this is definitely not a short-term thing. It's a calculated, long-term play. Okay, but let's be real. Whenever you see a plan this big, this ambitious, you have to start asking, what could go wrong? What are the risks? We've got to flip the coin over and look at the other side, where all this incredible ambition smacks up against cold, hard reality. I mean, the government is hoping to raise hundreds of millions of dollars this way. But if you look at the numbers, the results, well,
They're not in yet. It's still a big to be determined. So the huge, unanswered question is, can this brand new army of small, everyday investors actually come up with the kind of massive cash the country needs?
And this really gets to the heart of the dilemma here. On one hand, you have these amazing goals: democratize wealth, build the country. But on the other hand, you have some very, very real risks. Like, what happens when you have millions of first-time investors in the market? Could that make things unstable? Are these new investors actually protected if things go south? And a big one, are the companies they're buying into even being priced fairly to begin with?
These are exactly the kinds of tough questions that experts and, frankly, the general public are starting to ask. That fairness question is huge. And then you have the nightmare scenario, the big what if. What if the market takes a dive and suddenly hundreds of thousands of people, all at once, try to hit sell on their phones? Can the system handle that? Are the rules and regulations strong enough to prevent a total meltdown?
You know, one financial analyst in Nairobi really hit the nail on the head. They said something like putting the stock market in everyone's pocket is powerful, but you've got to put financial literacy in their heads first to prevent a crisis. And that's the core challenge, right? The technology is amazing, but just because you can trade doesn't mean you understand what you're doing. There's a huge risk if the education part doesn't catch up to the tech.
So that's where we are. And it leaves us with this massive question. Is what we're seeing in Kenya a brilliant new blueprint for building a nation, one that's truly funded by the people for the people? Or is it a massive, high-stakes financial experiment where the life savings of millions of ordinary people are on the line? The truth is, we don't know yet. The answer is being written as we speak, one tap and one trade at a time.